The inside story of how a mild-mannered scout leader from North Somerset pulled off one of the world's great rescue stories has been made into a film. John Volanthen is a volunteer cave diver who masterminded the rescue of 13 children trapped underground in Thailand. John was awarded the George Medal for bravery and the Bronze Cross from his beloved Scouts. I spoke to him ahead of the release of the film and his book called 13 Lives.
Ron Howard has picked up the story and is producing a movie. That's currently shooting in Australia at the moment. I'm being played by Colin Farrell, who, to be perfectly honest, I'd not heard of until I found out that he was going to be doing my character. And I'm really honoured that he's happy to play me.
How do you think he'll portray you?
Well, the worst case for me is that I look like a hunky Irishman, so I'm not too worried.
When I spoke to you a couple of years ago and I said, if a film was ever made, who do you want to play your part? Do you remember what you said?
I wanted Rowan Atkinson to play my part, and I actually suggested that to Ron Howard, and he looked horrified and said, we're not making that sort of movie.
It could have been, well, even more of a hit as this one's going to be. But just take us back to the rescue, if you would, because it will live on, I think, for many, many years and generations to come. You got the call, and then what happened next?
We flew out via Chiang Rai Airport to the cave, and 10 days after the boys had been lost, Rick and I surfaced in a chamber, and we found something was a bit off in that chamber. Something seemed different. And as we looked around, we started to see flashes of lights. We could smell something was different. We could smell humanity. And one by one, these 13 boys started walking down a mud bank, and we'd found the Thai football team.
So how did you get them out?
We swam them out. We swam 4 boys out per day. We treated them as packages, but clearly very valuable packages, human life, human children. And in the poor visibility, carrying them out, sometimes the only way I could tell that the boys I was carrying out were still alive was when they exhaled. I could feel the bubbles rise from their diving regulator past my face.
Because of you and your colleague Rick Stanton, there are 13 people alive today who otherwise would be dead. Do you keep in contact with them in Thailand?
I don't keep in contact with the boys. I feel very strongly they have their lives to lead, and I wouldn't want them to be beholden to anyone who took part in the rescue. That was a gift, really. They've got their lives back, and it's important that they live them in whatever way they choose.
You've achieved all this, and yet when you were at school, you were bullied.
Yes, I was bullied at school. And I think back then, which was now a very long time ago, the support and so on perhaps wasn't there. Perhaps I didn't even really understand what was happening at the time.
If there are children watching this tonight who are in a similar situation to you, what would you say to them?
I think you never know what you can achieve. Certainly, all of us can achieve great things. We just have to keep moving forward sometimes. You can get there. You will get there. Sometimes persistence is enough. You don't even have to believe in yourself. You just have to keep moving forwards.
Good advice. What a quick bloke and what a man to have on your side if there's trouble. Right, should we catch up with the weather?